Here's another argument for a God's existence from Peter Kraft's website. Premise 1. Belief in God, that being to whom reverence and worship are properly due, is common to almost all people of every era. Premise 2. Either the vast majority of people have been wrong about this most profound element of their lives, or they have not. Premise 3. It is most plausible to believe that they have not. Conclusion. Therefore, it is most plausible to believe that God exists. I suspect many folks would dismiss this as an argumentum ad populum, but I don't think it is. Ad populum arguments are fallacious if you treat them as deductive, that is, if you treat them as proof. But this argument is clearly inductive. It is not saying that widespread belief proves that there's a God. It is only saying that widespread belief makes the existence of a God most plausible. I'm not sure it's the case that beliefs are, all else being equal, more likely to be true if they are almost universally held, but let's assume it is the case. Even if widespread assent lends credibility, it's not the case that all else is equal between beliefs. Some beliefs have more evidence in their favor, some have less. Some beliefs are even held despite evidence to the contrary. Even if widespread belief adds credibility to an idea, which is debatable, you shouldn't judge its overall credibility on that alone. You should weigh it against any evidence that may subtract from that credibility. I think the evidence against the existence of an all-powerful, infallible, disembodied mind outweighs any credibility that may be lent to theism by the fact that a majority of people are theists. Kraft also says, "No one disputes the reality of our feelings of reverence, attitudes of worship, acts of adoration. But if God does not exist, these things have never once had a real object. Is it really plausible to believe that?" Given our current understanding of the universe, yes, I think it is. Before Copernicus came along, geocentrism was very widely held to be true. There are many ideas that have been widely believed despite being wrong. Kraft anticipates this objection and responds, "If people were wrong about the theory of heliocentrism, they still experienced the sun and earth and motion. They were simply mistaken in thinking that the motion they perceived was the sun's. But if God does not exist, what is it that believers have been experiencing?" I think it's quite simple. They've been experiencing a psychological and/or neurological phenomenon. Humans seem to have a hardwired inclination to infer agency. The ability to do so probably has evolutionary advantages in a social species. As a result, this inclination may cause us to erroneously infer that nature as a whole has agency. I can't prove that this is the case, but isn't this a much more conservative explanation? The level of illusion goes far beyond any other example of collective error. I think that's debatable, but even if it were the case, you would expect illusions that are a product of neurology to be exceptionally persistent.